Hey everyone, it's me, Arthur Kade. As a LEGO enthusiast, I love that you guys have made this whole documentary about the LEGO culture. It's really cool because I think of LEGOs and I think of the toys that I got as a child. You guys tell us about LEGOs and it's literally like Mars. It's its own planet out there. And we were just talking off camera about how you guys got into making this movie. So talk to me about the story. It's fascinating once you get into it.
Yeah, I'm glad you said culture because there is a culture around this so-called toy, and really that's how the film started. Somebody had asked me to do a film on this one Lego convention, and I thought Lego convention. I looked into this, and there's Lego conventions all over, and then we thought, well, what if we could do the film not only about the culture around Lego, but also Lego itself? So we approached Lego. They thankfully said yes, and we were off and running. Thankfully, Kief came on board, and the two of us collaborated on making this film about this ever expansive world of Lego.
It's incredible to see because, again, you think of Legos and it's just a toy, but then you guys delve so much into it from its creation to now, and how, as we mentioned again, the word culture, how a whole culture has been built out of it. When you started getting into it, did it blow you away to see how big this thing really is?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, look, we looked at this project from the sort of basic premise of like, is this more than a toy? And it really is. I mean, there's people that are using Lego for art, for science, for mathematics. Autistic kids are being helped through Lego. Engineering. There's really so many facets to this what seems like a very simple brick, but it's not simple at all.
When you get into this world, you guys have done films about darker subjects. This is a much lighter subject. Are you having fun with it? Does the childlike persona that you've put away years ago start popping out?
Well, we did take this on looking for something a little lighter than what we've done traditionally, and
Can't eat steak every night.
yeah, but it's a challenge too. It's a challenge because it's such an expansive world, and also we're storytellers at heart, and finding not just the individual stories but a way to cohesively tie those stories together was a real challenge as a filmmaker. And then furthermore, when you're dealing with a much beloved brand, beloved by us as well, the onus on us, the responsibility of telling that story right, it's definitely, I will say there was pressure.
Was it difficult to flush out that story, or was it all right there?
No, nothing's ever right there. Definitely difficult to flesh out. But, as you go through the process, you come to hone in on your characters and this broad field, this Lego universe ultimately honed in for us. But it's never easy, and like we found so many inspiring people, great builders, and not every story could make it. There's unbelievable storylines that got cut that will luckily be seen on the iTunes extras and DVD extras. So buy it, yes. But yeah, no, it's tough when you're dealing with so many people are just so passionate for Legos, and there's so much talent out there and so many great stories.
It's also fascinating when we look at childhood today. We're in the internet age. Every kid at 6 years old is already probably playing on a phone. We didn't have phones growing up. Legos were what we had. How has it changed when you look at today and children and how they are looking at Legos versus what was happening in the late 50s and 60s when it was first invented?
In some regards, it hasn't changed, and I think the film explores the fact that when Lego kind of lost connection with what is inherently amazing about their product, and it's this huge community that's grown up around it that is a way of saying, no, this is what we love, this is what we do. It's a very simple system, but the fact is that it's infinitely flexible. So we're living in a digital age, and yet this very analog toy is the number one toy in the world. So in that regard, it hasn't changed. Certainly there's more digital manifestations around this toy, and there's also a whole entertainment industry that's been built up around this toy, but at its heart is still this very, very simple thing.
I also feel like on many levels there was an even stronger rebirth around it when the Lego movie came out. It feels like a whole new generation may have been exposed, bringing them to life. Did the Lego movie have any extended influence in terms of introducing a whole new generation to Lego?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I love the Lego Movie.
It was awesome.
Yeah, everything was
She
awesome.
got an Oscar nomination.
Yeah, but
So bummed.
what's so great about that movie, which I believe we accomplished with our movie, is that movie is accessible to all ages. Everyone could take something from it. And we worked really hard to make a film that, you know, a 9 or 10-year-old will love, and a 40-year-old will love, or a 50-year-old would love. I mean, there's different elements to the film. You know, we have lots of great animation of our own in the film.
Yeah,
and
so
we didn't see the Lego film while we were making it. They were being made at the same time. So we weren't really aware of what the look of that film was going to be. We came up with our own look. But the kids love the animation, and the adults, you know, love the film for very different reasons.
What were some of the big revelations that came out as you're putting this together and really delving into the story?
Well, I think the serious applications of Lego, I mean, we knew this was a toy and we knew that people were expressing themselves creatively. I think the expansiveness of that surprised us as well. But I think the more serious uses of this, the fact that it's being used for engineering and for therapy and for all of these ways that you wouldn't necessarily use a toy, I think that was constantly surprising. But I think also, in the end, we, as filmmakers, what surprised us is that it wasn't so much about what we could say about this product, but what this product said about us. And ultimately, at the end of the film, we hope that the film posits some commentary on what makes us human. And we're human because we build. We like to build things.
I love seeing the people who are so passionate about this. Did you find something in common with these people, or was there a common thread that was really evident through the different people that you were interviewing?
Sure. Well, I mean, we definitely focused on a number of characters that came in and out of conventions, were in conventions throughout the movie. And what was amazing to see was just how enormous these conventions were. And people really just, like, throughout the year, they wait for the convention to happen. It happens once a year in their city, and they're building their creations, and then they come together for this massive event. What we didn't know was that actually people are now building together remotely. So it's not uncommon.
So cool.
It's totally cool to have someone in Idaho that's doing a build with someone in Montana, and then they come together and they show their work as a collaborative. And I never really looked at Lego as being a fully collaborative tool. I always looked at it as like, well, maybe you and your brother or sister sort of playing it together, but here's like whole groups of adults too that come together.
That blew me away. You know, you think children. Okay, I get it. Kids, Legos. But the adult factor totally blew my mind, where these grown professionals are obsessed with this stuff. Did it blow your mind as well?
Yeah, especially when you see the work that they're doing.
It's
unbelievable.
insane.
And some of the and there's amazing stuff that we couldn't get in the film. You know, one of these virtual lugs that Kief mentioned did this cyberpunk scene, and that'll be in the DVD extras too. That just was like, you could look at this thing for hours.
It's
the
like
detail
art.
in it
Did
was
you
it is
find
art.
Did
It
you-
is art.
It is art.
Yeah, no, I was constantly amazed by the work, and really probably some of the best work in the film, if not the best, is from a woman designer, Alice Finch, out of Seattle, who did a scale model of the city of Rivendell from Lord of the Rings, and it is spectacular.
It's insane. The reaction to the movie's been terrific. Has it really been humbling to see that people are taking a positive look at this?
Yeah, no, I think people are coming away from the film surprised because there are so many unexpected uses of Lego that people would never associate with. I mean, the fact that there's, you know, Legos in outer space on spacecraft. I mean, there's so many things that people will be surprised about. And there really is something for everyone in the film. So the response has been great. And the film's coming out this weekend, so that's when we're really going to start to get a sense of just how well people really do love the film. And it's coming out in, you know, all over the country, in the theaters and iTunes and VOD. So, you know, we're super excited.
What's most humbling, though, is when people come up to us after watching it and say, I got to get my hands on some bricks. I just want to start building. Some of them say, I haven't taken out the Legos since I was a kid, and I want to do it tonight.
It's so funny you mentioned that, because it really ignites this childlike inferno when you see this thing, and it really does. It makes you feel young and whole again. It's so cool, I love the serious application. I had no idea that it was being used for children with autism and medicine, and it's incredible. So you guys did a phenomenal job. Congratulations.
Thank you.